Father Chris Foley had all the enthusiasm of a young teacher as well as a young priest, and he wanted to do something special with his sophomore class. So I challenged them to go and do some service during Lent, from Ash Wednesday to Easter. So they did. But one of the things he said, now to make this fair, at the end, in the springtime, I'll take you to that new Citi Field Stadium where the Mets play. They were excited. He added one more rule. You have to bring $25. I'll pay all the rest. We'll have the bus. And you have to have not only the organization to sign that you actually did service, but also a picture of you doing service. He went to the principal. The principal thought he was crazy. You're going to take them out? You know, he said, it'll be all right. I just want to try something new. So it went on. But then one day he was turning in the stairway and he heard two of them, Pete Barry and John Fitzgerald, say, hey, what did you do any service? Nah, I didn't do any service, but I could fake it. He was sitting there in his office, and Henrietta Miller walked in. Henrietta was the dean of discipline, and she was a wonderful woman. You know, the Pearl Bailey type. And she was the sort of person that said, what's wrong, Father? And so he said, well, I heard Barry and Fitzgerald saying that they weren't doing the assignment. He said, let me talk to them. So she came to sophomore homeroom, and she said to them, you know, Father's doing a wonderful thing taking some of you out, but it's a more wonderful thing that you're doing in your service. But a little bird told me that some people aren't doing their service. They're not taking this seriously. I'm really disappointed. So if any of you are not taking this seriously, I want you to email me. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me that you didn't do it. And then we'll talk. So the next day, Father Foley came in and said, did you get any emails? He said, oh, yeah. Barry and Fitzgerald wrote and said that they really didn't do it. Barry had the excuse that his aunt was head of a nursing home and signed off on it. And the other one, Fitzgerald, said that he had paid his brother to do it. But what surprised me, Father Foley, is 3 other kids said that they didn't do it. One was supposed to be shoveling snow, and he photoshopped his brother's picture into it. Another person said that they were supposed to be doing work at a senior center, but it was just their family reunion, and they were serving lemonade, and had a picture of that. And the third one, I don't know what he was doing, but he didn't do it. He just said, I'm sorry. What are we going to do about this, Father Foley? So he said, well, we'll get them together. I don't know exactly how I'm doing. I said, well, I have an idea. Why don't you have them all show up and we'll go to the baseball game? But for those 5 scoundrels, what they'll do is we'll get some of the senior priests. And those 5 will have a senior priest as their guest. And they'll spend their $25 to wine and dine them at the baseball game. But that money was supposed to go to the missions. Better yet, then that $25 will come out of your own pocket. And they'll still have the senior priest to come with them. They say, yeah, but if everybody goes to the baseball game, then what kind of punishment? How are they going to learn? I say, now don't you leave that up to me, Father, because we got graduation weekend coming up. I've got 500 chairs that need to be cleaned, carried, and set up for graduation. They're going to be my guests that weekend. I tell you this story because there is consequences for behavior. And one of the things that's important is to be able to recognize God is offering us something new. And what we're called to do is to be able to see the newness. Despite all that might have happened in the past, to be able to recognize not only the consequences for our behavior, but to be able to say, yes, I can start again. With God, all things are possible. And what we're called to do is cooperate with the love and mercy of God.